How's everybody doing? If you're watching this video, it may not be my normal content, which is always something to do with racing. But today we're going to be talking about, and I've got a 2012 Ford F250 6.2 liter, which has got the 16 plugs, which means it's got the coil packs, which we're going to show here. And it's got the extended boot that goes down into the spark plug hole. What happens on all these vehicles, and of course this goes along with any vehicle that has a coil pack with extended rubber boot, is you get into this. These things get dry rotted, they break off down in there. And of course they, as you can see, this one is almost like a powder white where it didn't have the proper lubricant put on them. And it just turned into a absolute powdery mess. And I've been able to blow up, that white corrosion out of the each spark plug hole. But I've had 4 of these break off trying to get them out. Luckily, 3 of them were closer to the front of the motor, but the last one was not. So the last one was on the very far driver's side back of the motor, which means it was right underneath the fuel rail. It's the hardest one to do anyway, and it broke all that off. So you can use some, I'd say some needle nose pliers or something like that to get them out. But I'm going to show you some very basic things that I use after about 2 hours of frustration last night. I come back out today with a better mindset, and sometimes you just got to walk away from these things. And I'm going to show you in 30 seconds here exactly what I used. And it took me a couple tries, maybe 10, 15 more minutes, and it was resolved. First thing you need, WD-40. So you can't really see, but it's that very back part of that fuel rail where it kind of bends out. There's a spark plug that goes down in that back hole, which means it's underneath the firewall. Very difficult to get to. And of course, these trucks set pretty good ways off the ground. By now, your chest is probably already hurt and it's bruised like mine is. But what I was able to do, of course, you could use some pliers and try to pull them out. I had a couple of them that was lucky enough. I was able to get a hold of it, twist a little bit, and pop the broken boots out. The rest of them just kept breaking off in little pieces, which only made things worse. So what I done, after you throw some WD-40 down in there and let it soak for about 10 minutes, I got some of my welding wire, bent it into little hooks, and I made, 2 of them. It's a certain length, where I could get my hand on the end of them and put a fine tip point on them. And I was able to get down in there and work this thing in circles until I felt it kind of bind up. And when I was able to bind up, I just yanked it straight up. One of them, I was able to pull all of it out at once. But that back one, it broke it in multiple sections. And I was able to get one of the sections out really nicely, and I couldn't get the rest of it out. So after I knew it was all good and loose, good air compressor, and I guess you call it a needle nose air compressor nozzle, was able to kind of stick it down in there and keep, hitting that air, and all the particles of rubber come out. And within, like I say, 10, 15 minutes, I had that spark plug out of the truck, boot all gone, and my nightmare was over. So basic tools, just some welding wire, a couple sets of sizes, depends on what, which one gets it out. My first spark plug, I was able to get out with this one, the real fine welding wire. This one's a little bit thicker. You bend it to a point, put a little handle on it, just to the length you need to get down in that hole. And that will end a lot of nightmare. And like I say, I tried for about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get this thing out last night. It did not come out. And today, a couple minutes. And hopefully this will help somebody else resolve their problem. But the key is, even if, and before you start going to that hole with the needle nose pliers, if it is stuck or broke off, WD-40, it immediately will break loose with a WD-40 and make your life a lot better.